Kootenay Silver is a junior exploration company focused in Mexico. We have significant amount of silver resources in the ground right now, but the most exciting thing that I'd like to talk about today is the Columba discovery and project that we're working on right now. Of course, I will be making forward-looking statements. That's what I do. Why invest in Kootenay? Well, as I mentioned, we have quite a significant silver resource in Mexico. We have 3 resources with brand new 43-101 reports out in the last couple of months. Global resource of over 200 million ounces in the measured and indicated categories, and 55 million in inferred in 3 deposits. There's explosive growth potential, as we've heard today. We have significant leverage to silver price. Positive price action will certainly go well for us. And the real catalyst for Kootenay Silver is the Columba discovery, which we're working on right now. Just a bit of corporate stuff. There was a consolidation recently. We have 60 million shares out, 21 million warrants, so 80 million-ish fully diluted. And currently, I think yesterday we were at about $1.22. So market cap of around 65 million. Where are we in Mexico? Well, the red line you can see there is the silver trend of northern Mexico, stretching from Guanajuato down in the south all the way up towards the US border. You can see Fresnillo, Zacatecas. This area in the central area in Zacatecas has over 2 billion ounces of silver produced since mining began. We're located up on the northern end of that trend. La Cigarra is sitting right in the Parral district, just north of Francisco del Oro and the Santa Barbara mines. Collectively, they have mined over 800 million ounces of silver since mining started in the 1600s. Columba is sitting along that trend as well, just on a cross structure there, just to the north. Promontorio is sitting on the western end of the western side of the gold-silver belt too, in Sonora State. Columba is just a fantastic property, as you can see there from the red lines. That is one of the veins. It's a J vein. It's a high-grade system. It was historically mined back starting at the turn of the last century. Production there went down 200 metres. There were 6 levels on the main underground mine and some other drifts that went along cross structures as well for several hundred metres. This project came into our hands in 2019. It was previously a somewhat fractured property with different claim holders in private hands. We consolidated that, and based on some of the underground plans that we had access to, we realised that we're probably sitting right at the top of an epithermal system. This is an intermediate sulfidation epithermal system sitting in a caldera, in a volcanic caldera. You can see on the right here, that's the vein system there, mapped in yellow. These maps here are all at the same scale, and we've lifted them from other epithermal vein systems in Mexico that we think have similar footprints. And so while there's no resource at the moment on Columba, on the left you'll see Las Chispas. That's the Silvercrest discovery and mine. That's quite a significant discovery over the last couple of decades. And then Copala, Vizsla's property, the map in the middle. All 3 are the same scale. The Vizsla one, that's lifted from their 43-101 of the beginning of 2023. So they have expanded that for now, but at the time, that was about 104 million ounces contained within that map. We believe the footprint of our vein system there is comparable to those 2, so that's kind of the range of what we're hoping to pick up here at Columba in the near future. This is the real meat of the project right now. As I mentioned before, the vein system is sitting within a caldera. It was a felsic volcanic centre. It had collapsed, and then subsequent to that, there was some uplift of intrusive material in the centre of it. And you can see right here, this sort of area in here has a different texture to the rest. That's actually an intrusive knob, and that's where some of the mining had occurred. So one thing that's apparent to us is that the epithermal system that emplaced the mineralisation has developed after that development had happened. The veins cut through the intrusive rocks and the volcanics. There's not a lot of offset on them, so they tend to be pretty predictable when we're tracing them over the hills. The other point to make here is that because it's an epithermal system, it does have some vertical zonation. In the floor of the caldera, we're just grazing the top of the mineralized system. So there's outcrops rock samples taken from the center of the caldera will have silver mineralization in them. As we come up over the hills, the structures remain and we can trace them, but the grades and the silver drops almost to zero. But once we come down the other side to the similar elevation, we start to pick up silver again. The inference being that we are right at the top of the system and that the hills around here are actually masking the mineralization. We've set about trying to prove that, and we've been quite successful in doing that too. So it's starting to play out. It's a real pleasure to be working on a mineral system that actually behaves like the textbooks say it should. Items of interest here are F vein. Up here, that's seen the most drilling. That was the area of historical work. That has been drilled for about 700 metres. But the real showstopper here is D vein. We've been drilling that. The most recent drilling program focused on D vein. The best hole to date returned 29.9 metres of 453 grams silver. And within that, there was a 2.5 metre interval that had 5,800 grams silver with a little bit of gold too. And we don't see a lot of gold in this system. We're currently stepping out along that. D vein at the beginning of this year was 450 metres drilled. We are now currently drilling on that one, trying to step out on 100 metre centres. Again, just ripping through here, Kootenay doesn't just have this discovery story, it also is sitting on some significant resources of its own. Lastigara there, we recently redid the geological model and had a new resource calculated, the result being the grade was increased by 20%. The tonnes went down, so the contained ounces remained roughly the same, but the geological model and the outlook for that project is far stronger now. It's a far more robust model that we're working with. And then Promontorio La Negra, I was actually working with Kootenay Silver back in the day in 2009, 2010 on Promontorio, back in the early days there. That's a really interesting polymetallic diatreme system. It's quite large. It is the one, you'll notice all the others have had just pure silver we're reporting. This is a polymetallic system. It has contained gold, lead and zinc as well. But it has over 140 million ounces of silver equivalent in its M&I category at a grade of just over 100 grams per tonne silver equivalent. Contained within that, there is about 500,000 ounces of gold. And also there's, last but not least, the La Negra deposit is a smaller deposit. It was a true prospecting discovery by our team who were out following up leads, geochemical leads, and following rock trains and quartz veins till they found this hill, which turns out to be a little breccia pipe that's quite well mineralised. Pan Am actually came in on that back in 2014, 2015, but it did not reach the size they were looking for. It currently is sitting at 22 million ounces at a grade of about 130 grams per tonne silver. But that is on the same property as Promontorio, so collectively that's quite an attractive property there. Just quickly, because I'm only got 10 minutes, board and management, very strong team, a lot of depth there. Everybody involved has been in the industry for many years and we have a range of experience from grassroots exploration all the way up to advanced exploration, mine building and financing all the steps along the way. So it's I'm not going to go into detail with all the individual people, but you may know some of the names there, and I'm happy to elaborate back at the booth there. So what's next? I hope I got it across that we are drilling right now. We're doing a 5,000 metre program on D vein, which is purely just stepping out, pure exploration along there on 100 metre centres. But as of just recently, we've finished a financing. We're fully funded for another 20,000 metres of drilling. That is really music to my ears because I am keen to start exploring these other veins that just have zero drilling on them so far. It's when you're thinking Lassonde curve, we're a company that has silver in the ground, but this Columbus story really is one where we're just getting started on the discovery. So yeah, first drill results should be coming out in the next week or two. We should have lots of drilling results through 2024. There's a second rig scheduled to arrive in the next couple of weeks. And the aim is to get a maiden resource out on Columba by the end of the year. So if anyone wants me to elaborate on any of that, I'm down in the other room, so feel free to come and see me. Thank you very much.